Okay, abusia after say your Bible report the mom say you detain Ken Ofori-Atta US no immigration officers US immigration officers and custom no omo detain no abusia sisi ano immigration officers no Ken Ofori-Atta sisi ano ye ba be deport no na wa ba be PMO Ghana ha and many me ya enye asem keto akra nti ne flight no Ken Ofori-Atta ne flight so de be PMO Ghana no mpanyinfo ebuki finalizing the flight omode ne ba be PMO Ghana. They have refused to show mercy to Ken Ofori-Atta sisi ano Ken Ofori-Atta mpanyinfo de ne ba be PMO Ghana abusia. There is much interesting moments ahead. Yaba aba be break Ken Ofori-Atta news be break the amamo. But afe ena abrewa puma kwa momi yanko na yanko ti ensem bi so ekọ so abusia on subscribe like na share ma afofon so ensa into me enkebi aha Ghana Politics Avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so na be any updates be ever dropping on so onsa ebe to me aka medamase.
This is it. This is the latest. And we're talking about oral. He's a subject of oral as well. A number of cases as well that been looked into. And this is what's happened right now. Mr. Kujo.
This is a good thing. But you see, again, this is the problem I have with my good friend Ken Ofori-Atta. He's brought all of this onto himself. He should, once ICE picks you up, right, and then detains you, your case now becomes a very, you're fighting your problem. Because right now, ICE is treating you as some sort of a criminal, right? Like you probably will stay your visa, you're not going to apply. And in the process of applying, they'll say, you cry, they are facing some issues back home. They'll bangle you and throw you back here. He better praise that his lawyers are up to the game because Trump don't play. They don't play. Once they say you are cited for criminal issues in Ghana, your problems have multiplied by several fold. And I think I blame his lawyers. They badly advised him. Everybody who spoke it on his behalf was badly advising him. He should have come to Ghana long ago rather than being detained by ICE. ICE would make you like you tell me to. I don't think it's a good reputation he wants to get for himself out there. I thought it's really awful. It's really bad. And to the credit of the OSP, by the way, if the OSP had not done all these publications and all of that, why was ICE interested in him? Have you asked the question?
Well, the communication from his lawyers say that this was with regards to his period of validity, the period of validity of his visa.
Yeah, but you see,
and well, they didn't make any mention of the extradition request and so on. Yes.
Yeah, but Alfred, it's simple. Let's say the probability of ICE actually picking on Ofori-Atta may be negligible, right? We probably don't 0.001. But you see,
right,
there are many Ghanaians who may have been picked up or not at all. How come he alone has been picked up because he's detained because of was it because he was applying for an extension? Maybe that's what probably necessitated this particular situation. But ICE picking you or detaining you is a really bad situation. I mean, if you look at what ICE has been doing over the last couple of months, it's not a reputation you want to have for yourself. He better praise that his lawyers are up to the game. Otherwise, he's coming home on the next flight.
And in fact, if you look at the second paragraph of his lawyer's statement, they say that he has a pending petition for adjustment of his status, which authorizes a person to stay in the U.S. legally past the period of validity of their visa. Under U.S. law, a change of status by this method, they say, is common. But then that's the point you make, that if this is common, then why is he having to face this? Then it brings up a matter of interest in there, is it not?
Exactly, and it's a subject of interest right now because questions are asked: why are you actually extending your visa? Go home. You are a big man. What's the problem? Why are you staying in America? Unless you are sick, Then they start going to the whole case. Okay, why do you want to extend your stay? What's happening to you? They say, oh, I'm being persecuted. Who is persecuting you? Why not chase you? They say come and face charges in Ghana. They've gone to bangle somebody from Venezuela and brought to for crimes. and you are going to seek what I said. He better praise, really. And I said his lawyers have been one of the most disappointing people. Look at what they are doing now. They are dealing with ICE right now. It's so disgraceful. They better pray that they don't bungle him and bring him to Ghana the way he would never have wished. I pray that nothing bad happens to him. But seriously speaking, if ICE detains you, Charlie, I don't know what to say, but look, Ofori-Atta should have come to Ghana quietly and face these charges. And just go on peacefully. Unfortunately, Charlie, ICE is ICE. Once they get you, anyway. I'm not gloating. I'm not happy. I'm only disappointed that Ofori-Atta decided to be a coward, a brave coward, and didn't come home to come and face charges. Why? You should come home and face everybody. The people you work with in Ghana, most of them are facing the charges quietly, nicely, and they are even your subordinates. Why are you claiming that people are persecuting you? Who is persecuting you in Ghana? And now you are the subject of ICE. I pray that nothing happens to you the way he doesn't want. But his lawyers have been the most disappointing, extremely disappointing, especially those who politicize the whole matter, made it look as if the government is after him. The government is not after the Ofori-Atta. The government is after Ofori-Atta to come and answer questions. And I think it is legitimate that he should have done that. Everybody who egged him on, oh, don't come, please. You did a great disservice to him. Now eyes are chilling. Well, let's pray for good. It's disappointing, really.
And I thank you very much for joining us, Franklin Cudjoe. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Franklin Cudjoe is the founding president of policy think tank Imani Africa there. So if you just joined us, this is the breaking news that we've been talking about. The United States, and this is the statement that we got from Ken Ofori-Atta's lawyers here in Ghana. That is Akroma, Osebon, Subrusk, Catling and Partners. And we're going to put that statement on the screen again for those of you who just joined us. It said the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's ICE. That's what you hear Franklin Cudjoe talk about, ICE, mobile and all of that. He says that the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, as of yesterday, detained the former Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, regarding the status of his current stay in the United States. His U.S. legal team is in contact with ICE and expects the matter to be resolved expeditiously. Mr. Ofori-Atta has a pending petition for adjustment of status, which authorizes a person to stay in the U.S. legally past the period of validity of their visa. Under U.S. law, a change of status by this method is common. The public is therefore advised to note that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, as a law-abiding person, is fully cooperating with the Immigration and Customs Enforcement to have this issue resolved. This is signed by Justice Kosime Nkapremo Esquire, and that's for and on behalf of the Nkapremo, Osebon, Subrusk, Kathleen, and Partners. So this is fresh on the plate, coming through right now here on Ghana Tonight. This is the development with Ken Ofori-Atta in the United States. Well, that's Franklin Cudjoe draws a nexus between what is happening right now and then also what is happening here in Ghana regarding the extradition request and all the investigations around Ken Ofori-Atta and some of the matters that he's been involved in. But this letter from his lawyers don't state that. But clearly, Franklin believes that this cannot be two disjoint events not having any bearing or correlation. But it's one that, you know what, we're going to stay the steam on. Look, we'll see how the coming days will be on this, to the extent that this letter says it's a common method. But then again, it's not playing out as common as we're seeing right now. We'll see how things play out in the coming days on this matter. But your verdict on Operation Recover All Loot, 1 year on, you headed them, saying, I know there. Quick one on this.
I think we've made some noticeable progress, but I think we could do a lot more. I wouldn't say that I'm too happy about the way things have gone. At least some investigations have been done, but I think the speed with which we want things done and the persons that also to be targeted, I feel we haven't really done. We need to move at some speed, you know, and yeah. So Ora needs an upgrade. That's what I would say.
I see. There's some update, some quick turnaround that you're expecting in 2026. There has been that kind of reaction. You had Arise Ghana and talk about how speedy the trials have been and the level of expectation that people had about oral because of the preparatory team's work, and the perception was that, look, watertight evidence hit the ground running, and people should have either been in jail or some monies recovered at least within the shortest possible time. That hasn't happened. Is it a legitimate, expectation to have had within that 1 year period?
Well, of course, I suspect that those who were promoting Nora were the ones who actually raised all our hopes, right? And so our hopes have been raised, and now we are. And I don't think we've matched the. We've matched the not rhetoric. We've matched the reality as against expectations, and I worry because, you see, going into next year, look, the government needs to. People will start complaining, and I think the complaints will become a lot more if they don't see quick prosecutions. I worry greatly that we are moving at a very slow pace, and things are not happening. Of course, certain cases are being seen and heard, but I suspect that there'll be a lot of firepower coming through the heads of the various, should I call it, the 30 generals of it. And maybe, you see, what I also thought should have been done, I suspect that maybe this is what the Attorney General should actually do. Maybe they should actually recruit a lot more, should I call them, good people, lawyers who could prosecute. Because this whole thing where the whole thing seems to be managed by a few people, frankly speaking, is annoying. It's really annoying. I thought that by now you'd have a raft of cases, at least if we are being given updates, because once those young prosecutors start, right, we have a lot more updates to be given. Then we know that people are being processed, and of course, we probably should start having some special tribunals. Otherwise, what is happening is that unknowingly slow pace, and I don't think it matches the hype we got from Ora. I don't think it is. The hype we got from Ora was Charlie. Our face showed. People run away, but unfortunately, Charlie, just a few people. I don't think we are doing well. So a lot needs to be done. Yeah.
The Good Commission eventually announces the date for that, expressing strong confidence in an NPP candidate showing up and making an impact. According to Frimpong Kodia, the party has already begun the process of selecting a suitable candidate who will enjoy broad acceptance among party members and constituents. He spoke earlier on Joy News. Take a look.
First and foremost, let me send my deepest condolences to the family and the NDC as a party. But the New Patriotic Party will contest the Ayawaso East by-elections. And as I speak to you, we are doing our own candidate search to get a very good, well-accepted candidate to contest the Ayawaso by-election. I yesterday watched the MC at Ayawaso East making the point that to honor our departed MP, he will plead on MPP not to field a candidate to contest, which I was very surprised and shocked that he can make such a statement. I think this is not the first time we've had by-elections. When the MPP decided not to contest Tamale Central, the NDC decided not to contest Akwetia. I mean, they contested, right? So for whatever reasons that influenced them to contest Akwetia, the same reason that also influencing us to also contest. In any case, it's not an issue of whether it's an NDC stronghold or it's not. No, we are going to contest and to make sure that we win the seat.
Oh, that's Justin Frimpong Kodia. Says they're going to contest and they will make sure they win the Ayawaso East seat for the first time, for that matter. And the history of the elections in that constituency tells a clear story. From 1996 to 2024, the NDC has won that constituency as the Ayawaso East. And the late Lahaj Nazir Mahama Toure has been a four-time member of parliament, right? From 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024, he's won this election in there. in that constituency. But the MPP want to test their mettle. The General Secretary says they're going to win. Dr. Jonathan Asantioche is joining us on Zoom right now. Appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. I mean, the history of that constituency is clear, is it not? I mean, how does this decision by the MPP to contest this by-election, if eventually announced by Electoral Commission, strike you?
Well, let me say good evening to your good self and to your viewers, and to wish you a prosperous new year. Of course, MPP is a big party. They have the resources, if they so desire, to contest the Ayawaso East. But there are so many factors that will work against, and that is something that they should not delude themselves, from. And the fact is that even if you are not going to look at 2024 results, we are looking at a situation where the presidential candidate of the NC then had over 22,000, votes, and that of Dr. Bawumia having a little over 8,000. That represents, 72.92% for Mr. Mahama and 25.96% for Dr. Bawumia. So you can imagine the difference. The gap is just too huge for anybody to think that they can easily, bridge it. And then if you look at the parliamentarians or the parliamentary candidates that contested, the late Nasser Mahama had 22,139, representing 70.85%. He even had a little, about 1 percentage less than what Mr. Mahama had. And if you look at the way and manner that he has, that particularly resonates well with the masses, both the MPP and the NDC, then it means that whoever comes after him will definitely have that particular sympathy vote. So if I am going back to the factors that I intended to talk about, if you look at the economic trajectory, central government influence on that particular constituency. And what do I mean by that? If you look at the macroeconomic indicators, the likes of inflation, the interest rate, the CD to the dollar, generally seeing reduction in prices of goods and services, fuel for that matter, cement building materials, and so on and so forth. And if you look at the way and manner Ghanaians, had to go back home to enjoy the Christmas for the 2025 year that just passed, then it's still I'm of the view that the current government, the president, they are still enjoying the goodwill, of the masses. And so I would just say that it is an Herculean task on the part of the MPP. Of course, if the likes of Chirabosum and Co will go into elections and say that they are going to win, the MPP that has been in government before, been in opposition, been in government, now in opposition, you do not expect them to say that they are going to lose. Of course, they will have to galvanize the grassroots to at least see how they can test their popularity and the goodwill, since the time that they came out of government. And so I think that you cannot take anything away from them when they say they will want to contest and they are going to win. But this is not supported by the reality on the ground.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, Abuzia, we need ensema so our political highway. So Ken Ofori-Atta and yede no honsem e de brema asisi ano ni deportation process no aye ready aye de honsem e de brebe mase samoje pene kokuti sa ensem we e de MI aha Ghana Politics Avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so na be any updates be a better dropping on so onsa e be to me aka brema mase.